What's up, guys? It's the official Rare here with my boy, co-host, the official Alan.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Um, we've been really just doing a lot today, so we're started recording right now at the nighttime. So
Yeah, it's about 9 o'clock.
yeah, you know the vibes. But getting right into this. How would you say you feel about like money as a concept?
Money. It's such a strange type of thing because, like, for most people, if you have money, you have power over people, right? Which is true to a certain point. I feel like it works only over certain people that I guess I guess if it makes sense for like weak minds, that makes sense. I don't know. That's kind of
Would
like
you like to go like in a little bit more detail to like why money is the
yeah, yeah.
way
Let
it is?
me It's so how we were talking on our last episode, how I guess people get in the trap of working for the government and they need money to survive and they spend all their time now, right?
Right.
And that's like the trap because they're using money to rule over them, right? They're basically prisoners and they don't even know it, right?
Mhm.
So they're working for what they need to survive because they're spent their whole life now and they can't do nothing else about it, right? And then over here it's like if you have money, you have power over people because you can get things that someone else can't get, right? So say you have money and someone else that doesn't, you're gonna have an advantage over anyone,
How about
obviously.
how about for all the viewers out here, I'll give you a perfect example so y'all can see why money is not important. I mean, it's important and like a tool perspective, but not for your
Yeah,
life. It's not gonna help you if you focus on just money, alright? So
yeah.
think about this. Imagine you were stranded on an island and given $10 million.
Oh boy.
What do you think's gonna happen? Like, you think you're just gonna live off of $100 million on an island
Yeah,
with no
that's
contact?
useless.
It's
It's useless.
useless. Yes. So honestly, this is like the best analogy for money. Money is a menu at like a dinner or a restaurant, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it'll help you get the things you want, but like it's not gonna be the things you want, you know?
it's like saying like you give someone say you gave someone $100,000, right? And it doesn't matter. Even though they have $100,000, they're most likely gonna lose that in about a year or two, right? Because they have no clue anything about it, right? Because they never worked to have that money, right?
But
Compared to someone that works and they understand the concept.
but how about how would you feel if like the reason why so many people do the lotteries is because of the fact that it goes back in the system. You want to describe like how that happens? Like
I'm
on
confused.
like
Say it again.
whenever people win the lottery, right?
Yeah.
They always seem to lose all of it very fast, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
Yeah,
talking
you
about.
want to explain like how that happens?
Honestly, the thing about winning the lotto is, yeah, you're gonna get fucking money, right? But fucking taxes taking like 70%, right? And then they take off from your debt too. If you owe certain companies, they will take your money, I believe. And what you're left with, like a fraction of what you won, right? Which is good. Yeah, you fucking got money from how much you spent, like $20, $200
Right.
on a little ticket, right? But if you have no financial education, that money is as good as useless. It's gone, right? Because if you don't know, if you just, it's just dumb. It's like saying, it's like, I don't know how to explain this. It's literally like you're lighting fire. It's like you're lighting your money on fire, basically. It's a
Um,
wasted. It's just gone.
yeah, going in depth on financial education so that these people understand what it means. Like, financial education is basically the understanding of money, not necessarily on a perspective or an account of like an accountant or a banker. You don't need to know all that, like the technical stuff, but you need to know the basics of how money flows, which I feel
Yeah.
like most accountants don't learn, or anyone really doesn't learn. Like maybe you might get lucky if you go to if y'all are going to college And maybe if you're taking like a business class or an accountant class, maybe, and you go through it, you might like they might show you a little bit of like how the money flows in a system. But
Yeah.
if you really want some true info, you can go to Robert Kiyosaki or literally anyone that publishes books on financial education. You can search it up. It'll be an easy find. But
Yeah.
some of the main ways that money flows is through these four quadrants. There's the employer, and then there's the self-employed, and then there's the two other, which are investor and a business
Business.
person. So a large
Yeah.
business. The self-employed is the small business. So
Yeah.
out of those, which one do you think is going to be the top tier? The best one?
Honestly,
The best two? Which one are going to be the
you
best
see,
two?
I mean, it's obvious if you put it that way. It's gonna be business and stocks, right?
Or
But
business
if you
and
think about
investing?
it, business is over top of stocks because
Right.
stocks is they buy into businesses, right? And
Right.
if it wasn't for businesses, stock wouldn't be as powerful, right?
Right. Right. Right.
It's like you wouldn't invest into a self-employed guy that's only working to survive. That's like the dumbest thing you possibly do, right? Even if that guy is going far, you're not gonna get nothing back from that.
Right. Right.
I doubt they even have a stock exchanged for that guy. But
What is honestly pretty funny to me personally is that most people that go to college and get a degree in business and finance, they start
yeah,
up businesses. Like my father, right? He he has his own business as a handyman, but he's self-employed. And these people can say they went to college and whatnot, and they did all this stuff. But if you really take a close look, these people are actually just being basically an employee, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
they're not free to do what they want. They're the ones working. They don't have people working for them. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do that. They have a few people working for them, but it's nothing large scale to where it's automated, you know?
yeah. You have to still show up every day and do this because if you don't, who is?
Right. Um Speaking on that, why do you like if this makes sense, why do you have like any reason why these people act this way or like become
Um,
this person out of college? Is it through manipulation of the schooling system, or is it just they wanted to and it was a
I
dream? Or
I feel it's the fact that they went to college and the fact that everyone was like them and they didn't have any other options or decisions.
so peer pressure in a sense, right?
And yeah, they were trapped because they had no way out of that situation because everyone there was like, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do that, right? And then obviously for most people, they don't want to be like, I'm not gonna go. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
then everyone's gonna look at them like, you're dumb, right? Why aren't you gonna go? Everyone's going. You want to be out? You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
So you're looked at as an outcast, and people don't enjoy that. They don't like getting looked at like that, right? So they're not with the flow. So they just go in, they rush in because they're like, I want to be like everyone else. I don't want to stand out. So they just push themselves in, do what everyone does, right? So don't stand out because if they stand out, they don't look right. They look dumb. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's because of that they don't think for themselves. They have other people think for them.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
it's
true.
like in school, right? Like I don't know if it's gonna be like this in high school when we go into right, but it's usually like you can't even go to the restroom. They have to answer that
Yeah,
question
they
for you,
have it in
right?
control.
Right?
Yeah.
Can I go? Can I go? I mean, you're literally asking someone, can I
It's
go?
almost like prison. Like we said before, it's legit prison. Like they have their system imposed on you. You don't have
Yeah,
freedom. You don't
they have
have the
the power,
ability to
right?
express yourself. Like the only place that you can truly express yourself is like very limited because again, you have all these people in a close environment judging you, and
Yeah,
most people do not know how to take it. I personally know how to take it after a little bit of experience with it, but
yeah,
most people from a young age, like this is the problem, these people are like this because at a young age they were not taught the right thing. They were not taught to be
be you.
this, yeah, be yourself. They might have been told it, but everyone else around them, they adjusted And this is why it's really important to know what the norm is and know what's best for you personally.
And honestly, especially like these past few years or whatever, because social media and stuff, everyone's trying to like say like, be you, you're beautiful, right? And that stuff, right? People don't know what that means. People have forgotten what being you truly means, because if you hang around people, you will most likely end up like them,
Right.
right? Like it's like saying you're in a ship with 20 other guys and they're not like you, right? They're gonna rub off on you eventually, right? And the ship's gonna sink and everyone's gonna end up in the same spot. It doesn't mean if you're like them, if you're not. You put yourself in that category, then you are like them.
You're that category. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing with people that go into like a UPS job. Say, like, if a part of the company crashes, everyone goes down.
Yeah.
You've become a part of this guild or clan,
Tribe. Yeah.
whatever. You're in it. Like, you're in it till the end. Like, you're signing your soul, or you're not really signing your soul, but you're basically signing your soul, because you're doing it for money. You're doing it for something, and you're taking a risk while you're doing it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, especially like it's such a it's like so strange. I don't know how to explain it. I honestly like I start every episode I say this. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like one of those things where I don't know. I just lost my train of thought.
All right. So you were talking about how everyone wants to accept each other, right? Just like not that long ago.
Honestly,
how do you feel
fucking
about
speechless.
the people that get fat shamed?
Okay.
Fat shamed, or
Honestly, if you're happy with your body, right? I don't think it matters if someone's saying you're fat and you don't. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't offend you, right? I don't care about that, right? It's who you want to be, right? But if that's not who you want to be, and you hate people messing with you, saying you're fat, you can't do that, right? Then do something about it. You know what I mean? It's two way like that, and it's so simple.
Do you think like these people that are growing to like 400 pounds should be accepted for this? Like, is there a point where it just goes into too much?
Honestly, if you're 400 pounds, I don't even know what you're doing, right? You must be fucking sitting on your ass playing games all day, having people bring you food, right? Like I see these videos and stuff. This guy's like 400 pounds or whatever, and his dad's just bringing him food and stuff. He's being so rude to his family and stuff, right?
All right.
And he goes to the gym or whatever, right? And he works like for 5 minutes. The guy's done, right? If you're 400 pounds, right, and you're like shredded, you're tall as hell, right, then fucking respect, right? But if you're a little guy, 400 pounds of fat, that doesn't look good on you. You're literally killing yourself, right? You're literally just wasting your own life. And the odds of you even being born are so slim, and you're just going to throw it away and not accomplish nothing with your life. And I don't think that should be accepted.
So
Let's just.
Do you think this nerd trope in like movies, like, you know, like the nerd says, "Oh, well, I'm gonna be better than you in 10 years" or whatever, that trope, do you think that should be accepted as a trope, like, in general?
I honestly, I don't know. Like, you see that a lot in movies and stuff, and honestly, I've seen that a few times in school. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't get the purpose of why people pick on other people because of the fact of what they do and how they like their appearances, right? That doesn't make sense to me. But the fact is, I don't know, because especially like most people that are popular somewhat in high school, this is their peak in life, right? So they're not going to go anywhere after this, right? Stage, if they go to college or whatever, their life is in the slums. They're going downhill horribly, right? And then I guess the nerds and stuff, it's, I don't know, being a nerd is good,
right?
but it's bad. Yeah. It's like, it's one of those things, if you're a nerd about like, I know how to do this, right? And it's actually like, it's like you're going to do a business and all this stuff, right? And that's good, right? But also like, if you're a nerd, right? And I'm looking at you, right? I want you to work for me, right? If you're nerding on this stuff and you're getting this stuff done straight A's, come over here. You know what I mean? Like, come be my cameraman or handle my marketing campaigns, right? But the fact that they're being bullied and all this stuff, I feel like this is just dumb. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that they feel insecure because these people are doing what they can't.
Well, personally, for me, I feel like the nerd trope shouldn't be accepted, mainly because of the fact that these people think they'll succeed just because of their
Yeah,
grades, right?
yeah, yeah,
And it's not like all people that are popular in high school just peak. There's some
yeah,
people that just have a lucky streak, or some people that were smart and did both, or
yeah,
like, you know.
yeah,
And I feel
100%.
like there should be a new trope, or just no trope in general. Just delete it. Like that everyone can be whatever they want. And I honestly, the reason why these nerds are feeling like so insecure and whatnot is because they can't accept themselves for who they are, and they don't want to improve themselves. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's so strange because the fact that I don't know, like if I don't know, being a nerd is I don't know. It just depends how you were raised. If you were raised to like this is the only thing you can do, this is what you have. You have to go to college, you have to get an education. You're gonna be a doctor, right? And you don't want to do this, right? But you're still being a nerd because you were forced to. You were doing this, right? Your parents beat you or whatever, right?
All right.
That's messed up, right? And those people, they don't go far in life, honestly. If they even go through high school or even if they make it through college or something to get a job, they're gonna get destroyed by life, honestly. And those people are, I don't know, I don't want to say weak minded, but that's honestly they are.
Do you feel pity for these people, or no, no pity at all?
Honestly, I don't. It doesn't bother me too much. I feel like if you don't have enough courage to take control of your own life and you want to listen to what other people say to you and do what as you're told, then that's on you, right? But I know I'm not gonna do that. That's just not my style,
Right.
and I don't know. It's just their call. Can't
Right.
say much about that.
Moving on, like, I know we're talking a lot about movies, but like, I'm just gonna keep going on the subject because it's pretty interesting to hear your opinions and how you're gonna react to it. So, do you feel like this is basically the same nerd trope, but a little bit different? But have you seen the film Central Intelligence with Dwayne Johnson and
Yeah, yeah.
Kevin Hart? How do you? What is your opinion on that trope being sort of mixed up? Was that a
Honestly,
good thing or?
I thought it was a pretty funny movie as a comedy. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of dumb because what they made The Rock obese or whatever, right? And he was getting picked on, right? But he was the biggest guy, right? It's like the elephant and the lion, right? Same
Right.
same thing right here. The elephant's stronger than the lion. He's bigger than the
But
lion,
he's
right?
gentle and he doesn't want to
Yeah. The
try.
fact that the
Right.
mental game, yeah, because the elephant fears the lion because of like what he's capable of doing, right?
Right.
But it's because in the movie, right, they completely have those roles, right? And it's like the Rock is the elephant, right? And then Kevin Hart's the lion over here, right?
Right.
And everyone else is behind his back and they do what he says, right? Basically, it's like, are we gonna go hunt him? No, you know what I mean? Because in that
Mm-hmm.
movie, he was the cool guy, but he was also nice, right? At
Right.
least for the most part. And just the way in later on in the movie how the roles completely switch, and this guy is honestly, it's just how it is in life, to be honest, right? He was
Right.
completely flip flopped. Like what you're saying, like, oh, in 10 years, right? That's what happened in the movie, right?
Right.
And it was a completely different story after that, right? Because he became this guy working for the CIA or whatever. And then Kevin Hart over here, depressed at his job, you know what I mean?
Right.
Barely able to support his family or whatever. And then he just comes in like I was saying with the ship, right? This guy he met someone else that was completely different, right? And
Right.
then he later on became more like him, and in the movie he was working with him,
Right.
right? So it was a complete flip around, right? And it's saying like honestly anything's possible, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
what he was obese, no one thought he was gonna get shredded, right? A few years later, man's a fucking G, right?
Right.
Six pack, right? He's over here like 300 pounds, right? He's just fucking huge. And
Right.
it's just that's just how it is in life. If you have a goal, if you have something and you set out for it, right, and nothing's in your way, it's gonna happen sooner or later.
Okay, so what would your output be on goals in general? Like, is it good? Is it
Honestly,
bad? Or
having goals is something that everyone should have. even if it's as little as finishing a book or getting your homework done on the weekend or just working out for 30 minutes, 20 minutes a day, doing 10 push-ups, right? If it's as simple as that, that's a good goal, right? You want to get down a routine, right? It could be little goals, it could be good big goals, right? But there's a quote that I always will remember, right? And it goes by, how high you set your goals is how high you're gonna go, right?
So
If you,
there's another thing. Sorry for cutting you off, but there's another
it's all
thing
good.
called your goals are limitless. This is the truth, like
Yeah,
completely. If you set your standards ten
bare minimum.
thousand million whatever times
Yeah,
higher than everything else around you, one, most people won't accept it. They'll be like, no way, no way, this dude's not gonna be able to achieve it. They'll be downers. And this is what we said
yeah,
before. Remove these people. They are the toxic fucks that will fuck your
yeah.
mind up.
You don't want those.
But at the same time, you have to find people because it's so annoying being alone. You can
Yeah,
be
sure.
alone, right? But at the same time, you just want your circle small. You don't want a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. Having a circle small is always nice, but like I don't know. Sometimes I wonder like what would it be like if we had like if everything was the same. You know what I mean? Like if we
Right.
didn't do what happened, right, and everything stayed the same, how would our lives be affected? What would be happening right now, right? If we didn't become who we are today, who would we become, right?
Right. Right. Right.
And honestly, it's completely insane. Like it's just I don't even think we'd be here recording this, to be honest. It would
Well,
just be,
obviously not. There would be no reason for us to, you know.
yeah,
But like all these people that are just thirsting to pick on the little guy are just internally empty.
yeah,
Like, and it sounds so stereotypical, but it's not. It's just the truth. These people are just empty. They don't have anything else to do. Like, yes, you can say I'm bored. Bored is another word for being empty and not having anything to do.
yeah.
Um,
There's always something to do, man. There's always
right.
something to do. Like even if it's as long as like you're just in your room by yourself, just thinking about something, right? Like there's always something you can do, something you could always work on,
Right,
right? And
right.
then I don't know, something like to throw us off guard. Like sometimes like I get texted and stuff on Instagram or like these people are like, I want to kill myself or whatever, right? And it just pisses me off to a certain fact because it's like why? Just why do you want to do that? Right? I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think that it's really dumb that these people are trading their life for a little bit of clout. I feel like that's honestly what it is. They're trading
Attention.
their life for a little bit of attention because they couldn't get it before. And it's not that these people are like thirsty, it's just they never had attention. I feel like if you paid these people some attention, they would be happier. Really.
Yeah, but
But at the
that's such
same
a
time,
bad thing to
it's a
do.
bad thing because then it could be toxic, and you
Yeah,
never want a toxic relationship ever. You know?
because honestly, I feel like if you ever have kids and stuff, honestly, the best thing to do is not give them too much attention.
Right, right,
Honestly, like if you give if you so say you have like multiple kids and you just love one, right? And this is the only one you pay attention to, like you hate all the other ones, you just like this one, right?
right,
It's gonna rub off, and everyone's gonna be like, "You're his favorite. He spends all his time with you." They're gonna grow up being completely different people, and they're just gonna hate themselves because of what 5 minutes, right? That you
right,
spend with someone else, right? And that's so dumb because that's so untrue. That's why I feel like honestly, I feel like when you don't pay attention to people, it's better. I don't know. I wasn't always like I don't know because I was always by myself growing up, so I didn't really have like not like I was always like looked at and whatever, right?
right,
But it didn't bother me too much, right? Because I was mostly alone all the time, just having my own shit going on, right?
right,
And it's just I don't know. It's such a weird thing that people want attention from something, even if it's doing something good or doing something bad. I feel like it's dumb, especially today in our modern society. People are just fiending for that. They want attention, right? They want likes, right? It's like dopamine just hits in their brain. Like they hear the rings, the clicks, right? Someone followed me, someone subscribed to me, got a likes, right? That stuff, it's not. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. You like, hey, you know what I mean. The
You
fucking
get that instant gratification.
yeah, but still, it's just I don't know how to explain it. It's so weird. It's the fact that I don't know. I'm just losing my words here. I don't know.
Speaking
Rambling.
about gratification, how do you feel about like instant gratification and then delayed gratification? Like
I
those
feel
are
like
very important.
especially like today's world, the fact that there is so much instant gratification, people lose sight that it's it's harder because whenever you get like something like, oh shit, like your goal was 5 likes on Instagram, right? You get 5 likes, right? And then you try to get a 6 pack, right? You're never gonna get a 6 pack. You're never. It's impossible for you now, right?
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah.
used to instant gratification. You work out 2 times, you're like, what the
Boom,
fuck's happening?
instant. It just
Yeah. Yeah, like
happened.
where's my ab, right? I'm
You're
sure you know,
like,
watch a video, this guy, because especially on YouTube, when you watch people work out, right? And they put those 6 weeks into like 5 minutes, right? And they're like, I'm shredded now. Look at me, I was overweight and now I got a 6 pack, right? And then they're like, all right, let me work it a few times, right? And then drop the routine. It's all game over, right?
right, right.
Because they thought, oh, it should be easy, right? Because if it was easy, my God, you would be going to Kroger's and everyone would be fucking shirtless, 6 packs. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's not like that, right? And it's something that most people lose. Even if you get a 6 pack, you end up losing it. It's like in life. That's why people have long-term goals and short-term goals, right? Long-term goal is like it's what was the word again?
Delayed gratification.
Yeah, delayed gratification, right? And then short-term goals are
Like
instant gratification.
there's a few examples. Like I'll give you some instances. Delayed gratification would be like Alan said, a 6 pack, eating healthy, cutting carbs out of your diet so that you can get down in weight, or just growing a business. Like those are some things that will take time. Time is just present. Like you just have to do it. If you're not doing it then, when are you doing it, you know?
Yeah, honestly, and like on my Instagram account, honestly, I'm honestly just confused on how I got here, right?
Right.
Like when I started this account a few years ago, I just had a goal, get 1,000 followers, right? And then it went up to 2,000 followers, right? And I got there and I completely left, right? I gave up on it for
Right.
like 6 months, right? And now I'm getting back into it, got new goals on it. I'm trying to grow a fan base. I want to be an entertainer. I want to be a speaker, right? I want to
Right.
help people. You know what I mean? See something in them that I only see, and then they can see it and just help people in life, right? Because
Yeah.
in the world, there's no point of taking. Why would you take from somebody that doesn't have nothing, right? So you
That's
should give
messed
them.
up. It's like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah,
It's not right, but some people don't have morals, so they go look past it to do whatever they want to do or carry out. Um, Speaking about morals, like, do you think people should have a certain degree of moral code whenever they do things, do certain actions?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like rules?
No, like they have like this instilled compass, like something's too bad or something's too good or in between. Like
Oh,
they
like when
have
people look at a cup, they're like it's half empty or it's half
no,
full. Is that what you?
that's optimism and pessimism, pessimist or whatever. Fuck. I'm talking about a moral compass. Like they will deem something bad and deem something right. Do you think
Oh, yeah.
people should view taking candy from a baby as like a good thing if their goal is to have all the candy in the world?
Yeah,
Do you think
yeah,
they should
because
deem it as a good thing or
it's all about the perspective in life, right? And if okay, look, so most people say so say you have a baby, right, and it has candy, right? And you go and take that baby's candy, right? Everyone looks at you like, why would you do that? Why would you take his candy, right? And then but you're thinking to yourself, it's like, I'm trying to help this poor kid, right? I'm trying to remove this so he doesn't end up obese or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like his mother's overweight. I don't want this kid to be like you, right? Everyone else will get offended, right? They're gonna be like, no, no, right?
right?
But you're gonna know because it's your perspective, right? That's why in life, everything's honestly two-way. If people say it's not, it really is. Some things maybe aren't, but like some stuff is so straightforward, And it's as simple as that. It's all about perspective and how you see something in life, right? Like you could someone can see something as dangerous and someone could see it as not. You know what I mean? For
Right.
somebody, dangerous could be swimming underwater or staying underwater for a minute, right? And to someone else, that could be completely normal, right? Like,
Right.
let's say you walked up to Michael Phelps and said, "Yo, bro, I'm afraid of going underwater." Like, he's gonna be like, "What do you mean?" You know what I mean? It's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's like taking a shower. Right? You ever take showers? Same thing.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like comprehension. It's like you can't comprehend why they're doing it. It's almost like, if this makes sense, you have a psychopath and a normal person. There's no way that a normal person will be able to comprehend what or why they're doing that action.
Yeah.
But the psychopath will automatically put reasons and whatever to why they are justifiably right. And if you put them on a lie detector test, they're gonna be telling the truth because they deem that action worthy and they deem that action true.
That's what they believe. Yeah, that's how they see it. Honestly, lie detectors, I feel like are so simple because like there's so many people that honestly just know how to hack them, and it's as simple as like if you believe something, like if you make a lie, right? Like you say, "Did you want to kill him?" Right? And everyone's like, "Huh, he's gonna say no, he's gonna say no," and then you say yes, and it's a truth. You know what I mean? Like then everyone's gonna be like, "What? What is it? You know, like what's happening?" Huh? Like I don't know. Especially like when you watch shows and stuff, like the lie detector test, and you know damn well sometimes they're lying, like it's bullshit, but it's true. You know, it's apparently true. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just like the baby couldn't even look like him. Oh, it's true.
it's the
You're the
fact
father.
that they deem it worthy. Or, I mean, lie detectors aren't really used anymore. Like, they're not a normal. Like, no
Yeah,
one
it's
uses
kind
them
of just
because they were faulty and no one wanted to use them for that
yeah,
reason. But we have a lot of people nowadays that, even though there's not lie detectors, they still have that same view on life. Because I deemed my action worthy, it means I don't have any responsibilities to take on for my actions.
yeah,
So, like, this is the same problem with, like, the business world. Like, okay, we need to take down this company in order to win. Like, same
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I want to take down my friend in order to be popular. Same thing.
yeah.
It's occurred time and time again throughout society.
Yeah, the amount of times, like, if you look at like Nikola Tesla and what was his name? I'm literally
Thomas
losing
Edison.
Thomas Edison. Yeah, Thomas Edison wishes that he was the guy that created electricity. Yeah, electricity, right? But he wasn't, right? And because he wasn't the first guy to do it, he tried to take Nikola Tesla down by having campaigns and stuff. Man would go to the zoo, get animals, and just kill them in front of people, saying this current is deadly. These animals are dying, right? Like
Right.
like in school, this is so racist, right? But because so in school, right? They say Thomas Edison was the guy who created the light bulb, right? And it's so dumb, right? Because it's the fact that he did not. He put people together to create it. You see, he found five other guys, right, and said, "All right, try to make this. Try to make light, right? A fire in a little glass jar, right?" And they did it. And then man took all the credit. You know why? Because he was the face of the project, right?
Right.
No one else saw anyone else. Those people are forgotten in history. No one knows them, but they know Thomas Edison because he put them together, right?
I feel like that's the same thing with, like, the labeling system on tracks and albums in, like, the music industry and world. Like, these people, these producers are gonna take all the credit even though you work so hard to do
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
You know? Like,
yeah,
yes, that person, like Juice World, say he died. That fucking producer or that person that let their shit have a label is gonna move on to the next person. They're not
yeah, yeah. They don't
doing. They're
care.
sort of
You know
sitting
what I mean?
back. They're not gonna have to try to win. You know?
It's done. Yeah, because they've dug so deep now in the game that since I signed this artist and he blew up, right now everyone's gonna come over here because they like that artist, right? They
Right.
want to have the same flow as him, right? So then they have the power. They get to turn anyone down they want, right? You're not
Right.
good, don't rap for us. You know what I mean? Right? Then
Right.
you're giving them the power. People have the power, but yet they give it to others for some reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just dumb. sad.
Moving on. Going back to the movies, just because.
Huh.
If we look at like certain films like The Lion King, like there's a lot of themes that are in the movie that just are overlooked by a lot of people. Like the
Yeah,
fact that these people leave basically. Like it's almost like a story of how a man becomes a man through like the hunting
yeah,
trip and like the tribal whatever, you know?
yeah.
Like
A
he
boy becomes a
leaves,
man.
his father dies, like everyone dies, and then he comes back as a man. Or he leaves and no one dies, and he comes back as a man. But still, he earned it, per se. We don't have
Yeah,
that in today's society. We don't have that earning to become a man. It's just you become a man, or
you're old enough, I bet. You know.
like you have to say you're a man. But like sometimes people just don't feel
They're,
like they're a man. Like they just
yeah.
don't have the responsibility or the I don't know what the word is, but like manliness, if that
I
makes
feel
sense.
like, yeah, I
Like
feel like some people aren't
they
equipped
don't
with like a
have
survival
the
instinct.
qualities of like
Yeah,
a man. Like I
it's, I
mean,
don't know.
maybe it's different with like say we got a man from a tribal time or like a primitive period, and then we got a man from right now, and
Yeah,
I feel like we've softened ourselves.
yeah, it would be a completely different story. The man from our generation would get completely destroyed, obliterated,
Right.
right? Because he doesn't know nothing, right? Like these two people lived in the woods by themselves for a week or for a month, right? Our generation guy would die instantly, right? He would give up. He would forfeit. He's like, I want to go and I want to, you know what I mean? I want to leave, right?
Right.
Because he doesn't know nothing, right? Maybe he watched Survival a few times, gonna get some logs together, right? Build a little hut or something, right? But then what? He doesn't know how to hunt. He
And
doesn't
then
know how to
he's gonna
fish
get his
properly.
hand scratched or something, get
Yeah, he's gonna
hurt,
get
get
infected. You know what I mean?
get some disease or something from the
Yeah, and he
cold
doesn't know
or
how to start a fire. Like,
right.
man's dead, right? You know what I mean? It's, yeah, like I said last episode or something like that. You can know something, right? And you can know it from experience, right? Just because you read a book on starting a fire doesn't mean you have the experience on starting a fire, right?
Right.
Most people who started fires still have problems starting it because it's not that easy.
Right. So we have this soft culture. Do you think it's because of the schooling system basically being like
Honestly,
no. I'm not saying. I know the schooling system is not the complete reason why we're soft.
yeah,
It's
it's not.
because
It's
of the
not.
modernization. But mainly the schooling system is the problem. Mainly because of this reason. And this reason is that we have teachers teaching based off of books and not off of practice.
Yeah, and honestly, like the bullshit that they say, like, don't touch him. Why are you touching him? Right, right. He's a
Right.
middle class citizen. Don't touch him. Right, like it's kind of like that, to be honest. That's the way they kind of pointed at you, right? Like you
Right.
could be wearing like rags and shit or got no shoes, right? This guy got like nice J's, got a nice polo shirt, right? Like why are you touching him? Right, get out, get your hands off him, right? Because like that guy could have touched you first, right? But in their eyes, it doesn't look like that. You look like the bum, right? So they're gonna go
Yeah.
after you. They're gonna be like, get off of him, right?
Right.
And it's the fact like before, like maybe like 50 years ago, right? Like you could go to a bar, beat the shit out of someone, and just walk out, right? These days, right? You push someone, 5-0's coming through. You know what I mean? The whole SWAT team's gonna pull. Did you just touch him? Excuse me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in school, people are like, if you see something go down, report it immediately.
Yeah,
These
see
days we got
something,
bumps,
say something.
bro.
They have
Bro,
that shit on the
I was
bus.
literally eating burgers with my dad in our driveway, right? Right.
Right.
Fucking neighbor calls the cops on us. Excuse me? Huh? Why are you in that driveway? I'm like, dog, I live
These
here. I'm trying to
people
eat
are
fuck.
being
Bro,
pussies. Like
you see something
I swear,
suspicious, call the police.
and
That's
it's
what people do.
not our generation's fault. It's the prior generation. They've become pussies before us, and
The baby
I feel
boomers,
like
bro.
I feel like most of our generation is soft because of it. But the people that are becoming woke are in this generation. They're not in the other generations. I
Yeah.
know this for a fact because I haven't seen very much, and the only people that have been are the people that have been like they were before generational,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I don't know how this wave started or how this got here, right? Something the government must have implemented some shit in the schooling system or something. Like they taught these people that this was only the way. I don't know what they were trying to do. Maybe they were trying to do something else, but it completely failed and crashed on them.
Right.
and now they have these kids, right? But we're slowly turning into our ways. I don't know. I feel like the fact of, I don't know. It's so fucked up the fact that we have like individual governments, right? Like Korea got their government, right? We got our government, right? Fucking Palestine, right? Got their own government, right?
Pakistan.
Everyone has their own little thing, right?
Right.
And you're property of them. If you live there, you're property of them, right? And
Right.
honestly, I feel like that's so dumb because the fact it should be like it should be everyone should be under one roof, right? Because to be honest, we're all on one planet together, so we're on the same roof together. You know what I mean? We all
I
live in the same
mean,
house.
I feel like yes, it's good to have uniting, but like I feel like that causes more fighting. I feel like we've
Yeah,
tried this
yeah, of
in the
course.
past. So
Yeah,
like the best way to do it is to be the one in charge. Cause
yeah, yeah.
if
Honestly,
you're the one in charge, you're calling the shots, you know.
but it's as easy as that. Like, there's always conflict before
At the
peace,
same
right? That's
time,
how it
you
goes.
do not want your ego to take charge. Because if you let that ego take charge, ooh, you
Yeah,
will.
that's why.
Like this is my problem with people these days. Everyone is so materialistic. Like they're
Yeah,
like, I want the cash, I want the clothes, I want the hose. Why?
because that's all they know is the status quo. This is what
Right.
everyone else has, so they want it. You know what I mean? But
Right.
honestly, like if in order for everyone to get together, right, there's gonna have to be some boys gonna have to lay down on the ground and die for us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like some people are gonna have to take the leap, right, and they're gonna miss, right? People always miss, right? And if this does happen eventually one day, there's gonna be so much conflict. It's gonna be so horrible, right? It's gonna be bad, and the fact that it is, and then over time it will change. People will learn to live with each other, right? Because like prior generations, they're racist, right? And our generation, we're not racist, right? You know what I mean? Because we've went to school with these homies, you know what I mean? We know
Right.
these boys, right? They're our friends, right? And you would stand up for them, right? And the fact that that's how it's gonna be for a few years
Right.
or a few generations, it will pass eventually,
I
right?
feel like moving into like race. I feel like race is not like personally for me like this generation doesn't view racism as like
Yeah, or
I
at
feel like
least
everyone views racism as a joke in my generation. Like
yeah,
everyone's
especially yeah.
like ha ha you're funny. Like we're not like all serious about it. Like there's no reason to be
Yeah,
serious
it's a
about it.
joke. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
But at the same time, like we don't get out of a hand with it. There's
yeah,
like I feel like that's how racism started. Like it was haha jokes, and then someone took it serious. And
yeah, I'm gonna do what he said.
like it is just sad because people nowadays can't take a fucking joke.
Mhm.
How are you not? How are you?
Bro,
How
people
are
can't
you?
even fucking let you eat your burgers in your driveway these days, bro. They call him 5-0 on you. You know what I mean?
Right. But how are you going to be at a point where you're not even gonna be able to joke about something around people? I've had people like that around me. You can't joke about anything because they're
Yeah.
like, "Really? That's true? Like,
Yeah, like,
what are you
people are
talking about?"
dumb.
We were joking about it, you know. It's just sad. It's,
Yeah, like especially in middle school, I would make a joke about something, right? And everyone would take it so literal, and I'm like, "Are you dumb?" You know what I mean? This it's a joke, right? People just don't get like some people get it, yeah, but some people just don't have the IQ level or something that they just don't perceive that as a joke,
right,
right? And it's like, and then you gotta be like, it's a joke, bro. I'm kidding. You know what I mean? Just chill,
You know,
right? People don't.
there is a point where it gets worse enough to where like it's not a joke, you know. But
Yeah,
there's a long time before you get to that point, you know.
yeah,
And I feel like it's really important to know how you feel about that thing, or to know like I don't know, to know if you're how you feel, because I feel like a lot of people's perceptions are so thrown off because of this society and this social media and all this stuff. Like they're being thrown off, their decision making, their like internal voice is being fucked up. Like
yeah,
that's sad. How are you about to get fucked up by shit you see online? Like it's
yeah.
not even there, you know.
People really just give up. They just kind of, I don't know. We have a lot of quitters in our generation. I feel like people they pick something up for a short amount of time, thinking something's gonna happen fast. Honestly, I feel like we're getting better at it slowly and slowly, but it's the fact that we have no experience. We've been taught this stuff, right? And we only know this stuff. We only know this is what our parents want us to do, go to school with. They don't like in history, yeah, they tell us stuff. We hear this stuff. We think this is like impossible shit going on, right? You know what I mean? These
Right.
guys actually kill themselves? No, no way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right? Because nothing happens these days. It's so boring, right? We've come
Right.
in a stage of time where people don't want to have evolution take its place,
Yeah,
right? Everyone wants to
we've
stay where we're at.
came to a point where it's literally we're arguing about who got the fucking last potato chip, and
Yeah.
we're texting people, oh, get this dude out of my friend circle, get this dude out of my
Yeah,
group.
like I saw Gary take it, bro. That man's insane. Like, yeah, but you see, that's why I feel
Or
like
they're fighting
war.
over one girl. Like, what the fuck is your
Yeah, yeah,
there's no reason at all to be simping over the same girl. Like, there's more girls in the world than there are men. It is sad.
yeah.
Like,
And
it's just dumb.
I feel like the fact that I feel like war is like it's such a powerful thing, right? It's sad that so many people have to die and stuff for it, right? But it's the fact that it's a competition and the fact that we have evolution, like it just we evolved on certain things so much better, right? Like if you think like before the Indians, they only had spears, right? We had rocks and sticks, right? And
Right.
then we created guns. They didn't have guns, so of course they lost,
Right.
right? And then from guns, it was helicopters, right? Bombs, nukes, atom
And then
bombs, you know?
once we got to wars and like the Civil War and the Revolution, we started getting army strategies, and that was just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
better
Like before
advantage.
they would just line up and shoot each other down. Like, who, what? What? Like, you have
Right.
to have an IQ like below 50 to think of this. Why would you trade with somebody
Right.
that you outnumber? You just go around instead of losing so many men.
Right.
Right. And like, that's why, like, especially in the military and stuff, you told me they had to increase their IQ level, right? What was it
Right.
before? Like 60 or something?
Yeah, they
So
made
now
sure
what
it
is it?
was like 75 or
Yeah,
like
that's
made
still
sure it was
low.
high.
That's horrible. Right? If you have a, I don't know, man. If you have a 70 level IQ, you must be fucking somewhere. I don't know where you came from, but that's not good.
It's fine, man. If you have a 70 IQ level, you can build it back up. Like
You know,
there
yeah,
is
yeah,
the
of course.
present to build it up. Like there's no other time except for now that you can do something.
Yeah,
Think about
yeah,
that.
but it's,
Think about that. There's no other time than now to do something. Because if you do it later, you're not going to do it. And if you do it
yeah,
before, you can't do it before. So the
yeah,
only time, even though you say, I'm going to do it at this time, you can only do it in the now.
yeah.
So all these people are procrastinating the now, even though you could do it at any time.
Yeah, most people say, I'm gonna do it later. You know, why not later? When's later gonna finally be it? Right?
Right.
Like I was thinking for a second, right? Like IQ tests, right? Like straight A students, they take IQ tests, right? Sometimes they do decent, right? I'm not gonna say that they have like a
Yeah.
good like they get like a 170 or something, right?
IQ tests
It's
really
completely different than what school is,
are
right?
not school based. They're not
Yeah,
school
yeah,
oriented because they're based off of problem solving.
yeah. It's literally
Your
legit
ability
stuff.
to understand how things work. You know?
Yeah. And
Like everyone's heard this fucking quote, but the dude
because of the
had the
fact that,
test and the only way to get the fucking answer was by
yo,
thinking outside the box
yeah,
or writing outside the box. Like it's problem solving. It's that simple.
yeah,
It's not school. It's problem solving. That's literally your life. That's what life is. It's you
yeah.
have a problem in
Problem
front
after
of
problem.
you solve it. You have a bigger problem, you solve it. Like and these people are I feel like not solving problems. They're going through a process. There's a big difference between problem solving and processing. Like
Yeah,
problem solving is human being culture, right? It's just nature. It's like every human being's good at it.
yeah,
But processing is a newly adopted culture, right? It's something that has just been self-imposed by other people to try and get them to be controlled, basically. Because we couldn't create robots, so we were like, fuck it. Let's just create
yeah. You know
a
what I mean?
system to create basically robots and then have things that they can spend their money on and whatnot so that they can keep in and have a sort of meaningful life in their experience, right?
Yeah,
But we have this problem where we're not humans anymore after we become in the process language. Like, we're not made for this. We're not made to be a processing human. We're made to be a problem solving human, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we were created for a purpose, and we have people telling us that we're doing something wrong even though it's the right thing. So we have to, what do you think? Oh, what do you know? It's problem solving. You have to problem solve and figure out that what they're saying is a fucking bullshit lie, and you don't need to listen to them. Like,
Yeah.
it's that simple, man. And it's just shocks me, really, how many people fall for the system. Like, at one point, I feel like I don't feel like there's very many points like in my life where I was like, school is the way to go. It's just how I'm gonna succeed. Like, yes, when you were younger, I hope your parents were like, "Oh, go to school," because that means you had pretty good prospects as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Or from
Yeah.
like a middle class area. I'm saying, like, if you're a wealthy class, I understand why they didn't say go to school, because they're fucking smart. But like, as a young kid, your parents want you to have a prospect or something to go. That is not problem solving. That's a goal. Problem
Yeah.
solving should require like some sort of problem at hand. Like, yes, you're problem solving to get into school, right? So you have a problem. You have to get past school to get to college. But y'all are belittling your dreams, really. Like, you don't seem to notice how big they can be. Like I said, they're limitless. Like, it amazes me how weak-minded these people are. Like, it's just, what? How? You know?
Yeah.
Like, how are these people this weak-minded? It just boggles me. Like, I just can't fathom how weak-minded. Like, there's no other words for it, man. Like, it just makes me mad sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm about to fucking go to sleep. I'm over here tired now.
I
Talked
hear
up a
you.
storm.
Right. But it just baffles me how dumb these people are. Or, like, not dumb, but how easily they're tricked, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so going back to the movies, like, are there any movies that like really stuck out to you, like as a kid, like that were really nice, like you liked them a lot?
Honestly, like one Lion King that we talked about that one. Right. The fact that he kind of just dipped on everyone because he thought he did something that he didn't, and he was kind of manipulated. But then he realized what was happening, and then he came back and he did what he had to do. But there's not really that many good movies, honestly. Like, I feel like Disney is so weird when they make movies. They try to, like, I don't know, it's so strange. They try to make like good stuff,
Child
but
friendly.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like they try to portray a message, but the way that they do it is so strange, and it's just I don't know how to explain it. It's just such a strange thing. They want to portray something, but they're portraying it so weirdly. So like their parents, like, yeah, let's watch this. You know what I mean? It's just subtle hints, right? Not everyone can see it. For some
Right.
people that they do see it, you know what I mean? It helps them. Right? It's just little things like when you're younger, it just goes in your mind and you remember it, and it's just something you might use later on in life. The way you portray things, it's just how you grow up and how you see the world.
Right. So these people, like, how did you get started on your journey? Like, what did you do very first thing?
Honestly, I just stuck my foot in there. You know what I mean? I just started dipping in some toes into the water. Like, you just gotta just try, just do something just a little bit, right, and just kind of feel out the type of vibe. It could be as little as just practicing. Like, so say you want to be a public speaker. All right, then listen to a bunch of public speeches, right? Try to focus on that. Try to practice on that, right? Get some quotes down, right? You want to make some money, right? Watch some videos on that. You know what I mean? Like, there's always something you can do. Like, if you want to do something to accomplish something in life, you can always do something that will just give you that little edge over somebody and just get started sooner than later.
Right, right. So there's another thing that is just blasting in my mind right now, and it's how dumb I am for not bringing this up, but we have this schooling system about things we spit out on paper, if that makes sense. Like, we're reading this book, this math book, to spit out the answers. We're reading this
basically
history book to spit out the answers. We're not solving a problem. We're spitting out the answers. And I feel like it's dumb that we're not allowed to have our phones in school, because the information should just be available whenever. Like, why can't we just have problems and solve them with the information we have? We literally have things like YouTube and all these other websites and whatnot to help us, like, do it, and their assistants. So why can't we use them? Like, why are we stuck in this traditional teaching format?
Yeah.
It just is dumb. It is like we have a fucking thing that'll answer the questions for us, instead of spitting out the answers or being asked what's 1 billion times 779,000. You can literally type that in on your phone and get the answer, and it's 7,779,000. But it's just dumb. Or 7 trillion, whatever. It doesn't matter. But like, all these people are like, oh, school will help you with all this. The information is available online.
Yeah, you want to learn how to read. You know what I mean? Just start practicing.
Online. Like, all this shit's already set up. And I feel like we can get an education online. We don't even need school. Like, school is...
There's literally online colleges for a reason.
We can go through 1st through 12th grade, like, just real quick. Like, it'll just happen. Like, if we wanted to, and we were just... Since we're already online all the time, which most of, like, everyone is nowadays.
Yeah.
We have this ability to learn information at a super accelerated rate. Like, you're subconsciously gaining so much information. If you haven't noticed, like, every single time you go anywhere or do anything, like, on the internet, you're just gaining that information. Your brain gets, like, super loaded sometimes because all you're consuming is this content that will not help you. So if you change what you're consuming, it's almost like brain food. You're eating the fucking McDonald's meals right now. Why are you eating the fucking McDonald's meal? You're a fucking fat ass 400-pound heavyweight fucking brain. Like, why are you eating the like this shit? You're over here eating Happy Meals while other people are fucking being slim as fuck. Like over here eating salads and shit and doing the right shit. Like, why aren't you doing this? Like, is it because you don't feel like it? I just do not like those words. I don't feel like it. That is annoying. Or is it because you just don't have a reason to? Like, you obviously have a reason to. It's you, man. Like, you want to improve, you do it, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that's about it. This is the official Rare and the official Allen. We're gonna be signing off now. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. All right, bye.